My name is Hassan Sorrells, and this is the Leadership Lessons from the Great Books podcast, Shorts. There's no co-host on these Shorts episodes. We have extended the time on these shorter episodes from 5 to 6 minutes to 15 to 20 minutes for this season. This is so that these shorts can serve as introductory episodes released ahead of our weekly, longer form episodes. But don't worry, I will still let you know my observations, ideas, thoughts, or rants about the literature, philosophy, psychology, and even the theology of leadership, particularly as we prepare for the restoration of leadership and leadership principles during the next historical high in America. Why these episodes? Well, because listening to me talk about leadership for now around 15 to 20 minutes is still better than reading and trying to understand yet another business book. Even that business book that you bought with that famous person's name as the author, but you haven't applied any of the principles from that book to your leadership practices. At least not yet.
60 years ago, this April, at a speech at a meeting sponsored by the Militant Labor Forum in Palm Gardens, New York, delivered to a mixed-race audience, the black Muslim revolutionary Malcolm X stated this, and I quote, "This is a real revolution. Revolution is always based on land. Revolution is never based on begging somebody for an integrated cup of coffee. Revolutions are never fought by turning the other cheek. Revolutions are never based upon love your enemy and pray for those who despitefully use you. And revolutions are never waged singing, 'We shall overcome.' Revolutions are based on bloodshed. Revolutions are never compromising. Revolutions are never based upon negotiations. Revolutions are never based upon any kind of tokenism whatsoever. Revolutions are never even based upon that which is begging a corrupt society or a corrupt system to accept us into it. Revolutions overturn systems." Close quote. Just like his Chinese contemporary Chairman Mao, or his Vietnamese contemporary Ho Chi Minh, Malcolm X was indeed correct. Which is why the revolution of black against white, longed for by so many in the United States of America, well, the revolution is long over. In last week's Shorts episode, I said that, quote, "the triumph of the laws is almost complete," unquote. We could see this fact in everything from home ownership and wealth creation to prison incarceration and poverty levels. The black minority, enabled to integrate fully with the white majority by force of law for the last 50-plus years, now in our contemporary era and long into our future, will get to experience all the failures and the successes of the majority. Consequences always occur in a world of limited resources and brutal trade-offs. You do not get something for nothing. So then, the real battle is not to revisit calls for revolution, once made in the now long-dead past, but instead the real battle is to build a vision of the future. There are leaders of revolutions, but to be a truly revolutionary leader, after the land, metaphorical or otherwise, has been acquired, one must have a vision to make that land actually bloom. And where there is no vision, the people wander, or at the very least wander. But mostly, the people perish. See, it's easy to create friction to rouse people to revolution. In the modern world, from Rousseau all the way to Lenin and down to Mao, it has been incredibly easy for the leftist writers and agitators to rouse the people. Calls to action tied to a vision of glorious struggle and a future never to be fully laid out or fully explained are the raison d'être to creating the appropriate elan of revolutionary fervor in the masses. But an actual vision of what happens after the revolutionaries win? Well, that's hard. From the movie because cinema is always a good shorthand for ideas like this. From the movie Duck, You Sucker, or Fistful of Dynamite from 1971, comes this wise observation, put in the mouth of Juan Miranda, played by the late, great Rod Steiger. And I quote, "A revolution? Little revolution? Please, don't try to tell me about revolution. I know all about the revolutions and how they start. The people that read the books, they go to the people that don't read the books and say, ho, ho, the time has come to have a change, eh? I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about revolutions. The people who read the books go to the people who can't read the books, the poor people, and say, we have to have a change. So the poor people make the change, huh? And then the people who read the books, they all sit around the big polished tables, and they talk and talk and talk and talk and eat and eat and eat and eat, eh? But what has happened to the poor people? They are dead. That's your revolution. So please, don't tell me about revolutions. And what happens afterward? The same fucking thing happens all over again." Close quote. So where's the vision for the little people that are among the black minority in the United States of America? Who will lay out the plan? Who will be responsible? Who will push away from the table and stop eating? Who will give away the credit when it succeeds, and who will take the blame if the vision fails? Who will carry the boats? The failure of Black American post-revolutionary leadership is almost complete. Now it is time to articulate a vision for Black Americans as part of the majority of Americans here at the end of the fourth turning. And well, that's it for me.
Are you ready to elevate your leadership journey through exploring the wisdom of the ages? Subscribe to the Leadership Lessons from the Great Books podcast on all major podcast platforms, including Apple iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube Music. You can also find us everywhere else podcasts are available. If you find value in our episodes, please leave a 5-star review on Apple, Spotify, and of course, YouTube. We need those reviews to grow, and it is truly the easiest way to help other leaders and lovers of literature discover this show. And thank you for your support.